Good morning. It's Monday. This is a pretty big week. Lots of US economic data is coming out, but one of the main things to look at is what the Bank of Japan is going to do this week. Uh, you've already seen the increase in your fixed rates, and why did that happen? Had nothing to do with the Bank of Canada, had a little bit to do with the Canadian Jobs Report, has a lot to do with Japanese bond yields and what the Japanese central bank is going to do this week. If they increase rates, it's going to make any leverage trading using the yen carry trade to be less favorable, which is going to cause pressure on yields. And that pressure is already happening because typically the bond traders already price in what central banks are going to be doing anyways ahead of time. So when the Bank of Canada held their rates, it didn't do anything to you, but rates still went up because of what's going on globally. You have to remember that. Now, when the Bank of Canada did hold its rates and the Fed decided to cut, as I said was going to happen, the Canadian dollar went up in value. Now, you think that's a good thing, but when you're going through some economic turmoil like Canada is, you're going to want a weaker dollar, not a stronger dollar, because you want our exports to be more attractive and more competitive. And one of our major exports is oil. And Western Select took a beating last week because of the exchange rate change there. They had to lower the price of crude oil on top of all the pressures for the additional supply that's out there to make our oil competitive on the market. They had to lower prices. So lower oil prices means potential unemployment, less rigs, and also less GDP for us. 80 plus percent of our oil goes to the US to be refined, and I'm going to go on a limb and say that pipeline and the tanker ban, the environmentalism is the cover story for why those things never get built. The reality is we probably have agreements with the US to send all this oil that way anyways. The environment is just a cover story to stop it all from going anywhere else. I'm telling you, that's got to be what it is. You know, that's why elbows up is a big joke. That's why a lot of this trade war stuff is just a show. Because the reality is most of our exports go to the US, and one of our major exports is oil, and it's still going there, irregardless of what's going on between Trump and Carney.